Hi guys, Mr. Darrenster here, and what we're going to be looking at is the upgrading process to Windows 11. Now I'm just going to take a look at what to expect. So I'm going to go into the File Explorer at this stage because I've got the ISO all sorted, and it just seems which don't know how it happened. It was that took me by surprise because I didn't think that there was going to be a Windows 11. But here we go. Let's click on that. And yes. And then I'll come out of that. I have 790 gigabytes there. That's just going to get itself sorted. Okay, that's its preparation stages. I do like the Windows logo that's there. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to go into, while it's doing that, I'm just going to quickly, if I can, go into the control panel. If I can. So I can't because it looks like they have completely got rid of it. Because I want to just do the sound so that you get to hear the startup sound as well. So let's click on, if I remember rightly, System. And then we go into Sound. If it will let me. Which is probably not. Right, let me come out of settings and I'll do that again. Oh, okay, so let's try that again. Okay, so attempt number 2. Go into System. Then I'll go into Sound. And let me turn this up. Okay, that's not what I was after. That's what I was after. Sound control panel. Because then the sounds are there as well. Okay, so I've done that. Now I click next. Let's go check for updates. So this is build 21996 is what I'm looking at here. Now it's checking the PC. We're getting a few things ready. This should allow you then just to this should allow you just a setting should allow you to keep your stuff. And that's just skip straight past that. Okay, so that while it's checking for updates, I will pause it here. Join me back in a bit when we get to the next portion of the setup. And I'm back. And I've just suddenly noticed that because I'm using the American release of Windows 11 here, it's continuing with this installation. We'll change my display language to American English, so there'll be an extra step that I need to take in order to change it back. So that's not a problem. Making sure your PC has enough space. So what we'll do is when we finally are done Windows 11, I will then download the display language pack for British English. We'll just see where we go from there. So making sure your PC has enough space. Well, I should have enough space. There's a hard drive of 850 gigabytes. So I should have enough space. Let me just double check that just to make sure. I mean, I know I should, because last time I checked I had 790 gigabytes remaining. So the only thing that's changed about that was that it's gone down slightly. Okay, so I can keep all of my stuff. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Because at least then I can keep everything and not have to worry. So we've gone back into the checking for update stage. So I'm going to pause that. Again, join me back in a bit at the next setup. And I'm back again. And what a better way to learn, what a better time to learn than now to, just to think about it. I can keep everything. That does put my mind at rest. So I will continue to install Windows 11 once it lets me. it just means then I'll put my virtual machine out of action for the time being. There we go. So now we're installing Windows 11. And then what we'll do at that point is we'll do the remaining bit of it when this is when it's sorted itself out. Because now that's just completely overlaid what I've done, and that's overlaid that's overlaid over everything that I've got open. Luckily I had no open windows. And it does that when you haven't activated Windows 8, the original Windows 8. And I think it does the same with 8.1 as well. It just overlays over everything you're doing, causing some annoyances. So I'm going to pause it here again and join me in the next phase of setup. And we're back. Wow. By the looks of things, we have a different logo. So it's looking more and more like what the logo did in Windows 1. But I do like the look of that. That is that is the look of Windows 11. I'm wondering what they'll do in Progress Bar 95 when it comes to their Progress Bar 1X version. Will they rename that Progress Bar 11 to reflect on this? There's only one way to find out, and that's to wait for the next update. So we're just waiting to see what goes on at this point, because we're just about to enter into the next phase of setup. But however long that will take, well, that's yet to be determined. But at least this bit worked. And then what I'll do in the next part of this setup is once we get to the desktop, I will then change the display language back to British English. Of course, I need to download it first. So that's the next part of it done. I do like the spinning wheel that's at the bottom. They've kept that from Windows 10, but in actual fact, that's been like that since Windows 8. I put that spinning wheel. But I do also remember when I looked at Windows 8, the startup logo of it was a fish, some sort of weird looking fish, and it had bubbles blowing out of its mouth that then formed the number 8. That was interesting. So just waiting for this to sort itself out, because I'm just looking forward to seeing what the next part of the setup is. Working on updates. So it's just doing that. And we're already at 3%. So what we'll do in this case is, okay, so that's going right up. I'm just going to check something while I'm at it. There you go. So it says Windows 10. Sooner or later, it'll probably stay at Windows 10 anyway. it'll probably stay saying Windows 10 anyway, even though this is now Windows 11. We shall find out later on. But of course, there will be another update to VMware Fusion at some point because of the fact that we've got macOS Monterey coming as well as Windows 11. So we need to have them added. But it's interesting, come to think about it, it's very interesting to see what lies ahead. And it's just, I'm very excited. So I'm going to skip past a bit of this setup. I'm going to say join me back in a bit when we're at 90, when we've gone past the 90% mark. See you in a bit after this. And I'm back. And we pick up the installation of Windows 11 on 96%. Which I have to say, it took a bit of time, but then you detect that because this is Windows 11, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what comes up next. Now, I think I might have skipped past the setting up phase at this point because I've upgraded directly from Windows 10, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens next. It's going to be brilliant the way things have gone about. So we're just taking care of a few bits. And okay, so we're at 100% now. So here comes the next bit. But whether or not it will allow me to bypass the setting up stage or the personalizing of this copy of Windows 11 or not, well, I'm thinking it would determine as to whether or not, because I did a direct upgrade from Windows 10, I might be able to skip it because I've been able to keep hold of my stuff. And I think it's going to let me do that. Which, well, next time I come up with a clean installation of Windows 11, I will put that in. I think. I'll put it in so it goes through that. We go through that part of the setup. That's, of course, if it skips that bit, upgrading it directly. But we'll just see what happens. It says, please wait. So we might go through that part of the setup, or we might skip it. But either which way you look at it, I'm very much excited to see what goes on with the first look of Windows 11. I'm hyped up for it. It's going to be good. We'll just wait and see what happens. It's just touching up a few bits. The final touch up. I'm lucky enough that I'm running this off a virtual machine only because it then allowed me to upgrade it from Windows 10. If I was to put that on a physical machine, this might not have worked. I'm very excited either which way you look at it. Particularly when Microsoft, for the last few years, had told us that there would be no Windows 11. And here we are, 6 years later, on Windows 11. Which I'm very excited to see. So we're in. So it did skip past that bit of the setup as I'd expected, because I did a direct upgrade. And here we go. I'm signing in now. And I don't think I need a product key. In fact, I know I wouldn't need a product key either, because I've directly updated it from a genuine copy of Windows 10. So here comes the next bit. Hi, getting things ready for you. We'll just wait for this to sort itself out. We've just got a black screen at the moment. Oh, wow. Oh, I like the look of that. It's got a little animation in the background. It's disabled dark mode, but I can always get that back. I do like the look of that, though. Wow. That is incredible. So this might take a few minutes. But I will get my dark mode back at this point. As well as the language pack. That all comes as part of the setup. Please keep your PC on and plugged in, then it says at the bottom, don't turn off your PC. Well, you'll be pleased to know that, one, this is a virtual machine, and secondly, I'm running it off an iMac. So I'll be able to leave it plugged in. Well, I'd have to leave it plugged in, otherwise my whole iMac would turn off. Well, I can understand why they say to leave it plugged in, because otherwise, if the battery dies out, if you're installing this on a laptop and then your battery dies, it's going to hamper with the installation of Windows 11, or any type of Windows, not just Windows 11. So I can understand why they put that there. Good things coming your way. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it too. The startup screen's the same. Which is a good thing. But yeah, it's incredible what I've seen so far. Almost there. Here comes the big reveal. Oh, wow! So that's now in the middle. Wow, that is incredible. And because this is set to American English, it's gone back to that. So what I'm going to do then at this point is I'm just going to quickly change a few bits about. First off, I'm going to check to see, oh, I like the look of that. First off, I'm just going to check and see the activation side of things. You can easily fit a lot more icons on that as well. Oh, the search icon's been updated. And by the looks of things, so is that. The File Explorer. Start menu is now that, which is good. Let's go back to home. But everything has been preserved. Which is good. Apart from my language, which I'm going to change that back. There's the Action Center. And if I remember rightly, that would be the notification widget, which we will look at. Okay, so what's this saying? That's saying that OneDrive is configured to run when I log in. That's good because it means then everything is able to just run normally. And I'm trying to get rid of my startup notification. That takes care of that. Now I'll go into time and language. And I'll set the time zone automatically. That's a good way to go about it. And then we go into language. Display language English UK. So it's there still. I'm just going to be signing out. So I didn't need to download it again because it's already there. So I'm just going to sign out and back in again. At least everything has been preserved, which is incredible because I thought I was going to lose the lot. So we'll just wait for that to sort itself out. Got the mouse. but it's still giving me American English. Reverted straight back. It reverted right back to what I had before. Which I'm starting to think that that's what you'd expect. But another thing I wanted to look at while I'm thinking of it, if it will let me. Oh, so that's what happens when something becomes unresponsive. It just becomes transparent. So I'm just going to minimize that down a moment. Oh, it's crashed anyway. Let's come out of the Xbox thing because that automatically sets up, automatically starts up when it's loading. I do like the bit at the bottom though where at the taskbar everything's in the middle. I'm going to come out of that as well. That's the widgets. So that's good to know. And then there's Teams that's just loaded up. So let's go back home. And I'm going to go for, wait for that to sort itself out this time. And then let's see what happens. So we are in British English. And we're just let's go back. And then we'll just take care of that. Just to sort itself out. And there we go. So if I then go into try to anyway. Go into, where's the best place to go for that? Okay, well, I'll come out of that for a moment. And then I'll open up File Explorer because I would like to see what that looks like. Another thing I would like to look at as well is that I've also noticed that there's no text at the bottom right hand corner, which is rather unusual, particularly for a beta. And I do like the look of that. And it didn't take up that much space at all. Which I am surprised about. They're no longer required because I'm now running Windows 11. Because I'm now running Windows 11. So we go into activation. It now tells me that that's activated. Which is incredible because I didn't think it well, I like the idea of that. And let's have a look. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to find the about. So if I think it said if I go into File, or it's under something or other. I'm just trying to work out how to get that bit up where it shows. Window, there it shows it as a dialog box. Let's try that and see what the disk space comes up as. Now for all versions, Windows 10, yeah, it said it does the same as well. Windows 10 then allowed you to do that, and it still sticks with the 2D donut chart. Oh, there it is. I found it. And there we go. We are now running Windows 11, which is, I have to say, that was a lot easier than I'd expected. So I'm just going to click OK. Have a look at the Start menu. I like that. And that bit there as well, that's good. Now, what's going to happen? Oh, that's all the apps there. So all the groups are gone, which I am surprised about, but at least I don't have to worry about sorting everything out. So that's just sorting that out. Next thing I'm going to do then, while I'm waiting for that, is to go back into the File Explorer. That's of course if it will let me. Let me get my words up. And oh, I've noticed as well that it just splits when you've got more than one open, so it stays as it is, but then it stays at that same square, but then it just separates out as and when you need it to. So I'm just going to do a quick disk clean up. It didn't use up that much space at all. It was about 7 gigabytes. That takes care of that, and now I'm going to clean up the system files as well, because I will just stick with Windows 11. I'm just happy that I've been able to keep hold of everything. Because devastated wouldn't be strong enough to describe describe what I'd be feeling if that wasn't the case. We're just taking care of that for the moment. We'll do that. But I'm going to call it here for this episode, and join me in the next one. I'm just going to call it here for this video. Join me soon when I look at other videos that use Windows 11. Until then, bye bye, and thanks for watching.